Now, I've really enjoyed doing this West African tropical series. I have come full circle. We're back home now, and I thought we'd best do this out in the garden. Thank you, Lois, for inspiring me to do this series. The link's down below to Lois's blog. You can get across there and see the recipe. Now, I'm going to urge every one of you out there to give this a try because these donuts are just fantastic. And what better way to end the series with a lovely dessert from West Africa, this tropical, delicious drop donut. Come on. So many delicious recipes start with very simple ingredients. I'll put all the measurements up on the screen as we go along. I've got all-purpose flour in here, a teaspoon and a half of yeast, just popping that to one side, some cayenne pepper, quarter of a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more. Pop that in there as well. Take a little pinch of salt, and in goes some granulated sugar. And what I think makes these donuts, fresh nutmeg. We're going to grind about half a teaspoon, quarter to half a teaspoon of fresh nutmeg in there. I'm going to pop myself a cup of warm water. Now you could keep a little bit back if you like, but I think I've measured this out just about perfect. I've got a little dough hook, you can use a fork, and we're just going to mix this. Now you are going to end up with a batter, something like a cake batter, but a little bit thicker. Now we need this to rise a little bit, so I'm just going to pop that down. We cover it over with a damp cloth. Put it away somewhere for about an hour, let it grow in volume. Now I've got some cooking oil heating up over here and I'm going to cook these outside. Now Lois said to me, or she comments in her blog, you could do these by hand the West African way, or you can do them with a little scoop like this. Now you know me, I am going to do this by hand. And if you don't like hands-on food, talk to the hand. Now I'm bringing my oil up to 150 degrees Celsius, that's 300 Fahrenheit, a little lower than what Lois suggested, but I find for me it seems to work perfectly well. Now come down here and take a look at our batter. Look how beautiful that is. Now as soon as I touch that, it's going to start to collapse down, which is fine, it's what we want. So I'm knocking my batter back into the bowl like this. Now this is a sticky batter as you can see, but if we dip our hands in a little water, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab myself a piece of batter. It makes it easier to handle if your hands are wet. So I've cupped it in my hand like that. I've got my oil, and what I'm just going to do is squeeze these out into the oil. Trying to get them as round as we can, but it's not so important. And that's why they are drop donuts. Now you'll see they start to float to the top pretty quickly. Isn't this just a wonderful way of making donuts? I can imagine in West African towns and villages, them making donuts like this. Be very careful. This oil is super hot. If you decide to do it this way, you better be confident. For those of you that don't like the idea of the hot fat and your hands, you can use a little scoop like this and just get yourself a little bit of the batter, drop it gently into the hot oil. But for me, you know, I'm going to do these every time by hand. I just think it's a fun way to explore these drop donuts. Just squeeze them out and drop them down and get a lovely smooth drop donut the way they were intended to be made. Now you see how they've floated to the top? They do tend to almost turn themselves. I'm going to cook them for about 5 to 10 minutes, turning them gently as they go until I get this wonderful golden brown. See how that's turning? Just turn by itself. As one side gets cooked off, it rolls over. Now you see these are lovely and golden brown. We can lift these out now, and I'm just going to pop one down on a little bit of paper towel and just let some of the oil come off. These are absolutely perfect in my mind. I hope you're proud of me, Lois. Don't forget, you get across to Yummy Medleys blog to check out the full recipe. Now we are getting plagued by a wasp at the moment. He's after the jam and donuts, but he isn't getting any. Now Lois served these with strawberry jam. I've got a raspberry jam here. Now if I take one of these and just cut it through for you to see inside just how light and delicious they are. Dip these in a little jam, but Lois, these are just too good for me. I absolutely adore them. This is the way I would eat them, straight raw. Oh, the nutmeg, a little bit of cayenne pepper that's in there. These are just so delicious. If you haven't tried this before, I urge you to give it a try. I hope you've enjoyed the West African tropical series that we've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. Don't forget to get across to Yummy Medleys blog, that is Lois, and check out the full written recipes. You have to try these. They are superb. Please share the love, give this one a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Tropical West African, fantastic. I'm gonna have a bit of jam for you, Lois, with some jam. Oh, heavenly. The West African playlist is here. I'll leave a link to another playlist also that you can get across and watch on Steve's Kitchen. Be good, comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Take care. I'll see you in the next episode.